Fortnite has been constantly evolving for 7 years now. We went from the super simple game it used to be on to peak graphics. I would marry the graphics any day, and that's not even a joke. But there is one character in this game's story which shows off the constant evolution better than anything else. That character is none other than Jonesy, yup, the classic default skin which we all know and love. One whose full name is John Jones. Jones went from having no story at all and being just a simple default skin with many reskins, onto becoming the best agent of Imagine Order, the people who control the world of Fortnite and the god of this game, as all of his family died while Jones was working within this faction, thinking that he was doing good things for the world. But psych! It got revealed that the Imagine Order are really evil and manipulative people, so he betrayed them and brought the Seven in, the biggest heroes of all of Multiverse, together taking down the IO and destroying it, as Jones nearly died many times doing so. His new family have now become the Seven. But not even a year after, that new family is also taking a loss to the evil Chrome. Jones is yet again lonely for a very long time, until he has to time travel into the past in order to save the entire world yet again. He successfully does so, but that leaves him with only one single person he knows from his past, Peely, one who also got stolen by a new faction called the Society. That's causing Jones to say no more, grabbing a shield and guns to hunt down the people who stole his banana. Jones is just tired of losing his friends, and he will never let that ever happen again. He will find you, and he will kill you. But that comes in really handy because Jones just made a new friend here named Hope. And just as I said, yet again he's trying his best at the moment to protect Hope from being hurt. Will he succeed to do so or fail? That's a really big thing we're gonna talk about in this video. But also another big thing is regarding how Jones has now been chosen by Captain America to become the next captain of Fortnite, even given a shield as a gift. That one is way more important than you think it is. You will just absolutely love this guy and how awesome he is, and even want to learn more about him if you watch this video till the end of it. Doing that by going through his full evolution within Fortnite. Professor Lore shall begin! Jonesy started within this game as just a simple default skin to use. He then began playing a part in the story trailer of every season ever since season 9 chapter 1, the moment where he tried to run into safety from the volcano's eruption, leading into him and Peely getting stuck within a bunker. These two were within that place for around like 100 years, causing them to run out of food, and yeah, Jones killed his friend, blending him into a liquid banana smoothie, drinking the remains of his friend. Do not ever go with this guy into a bunker or somewhere lonely. He will drink you. Drinking Peely caused him to see visions of the future, ones that he then drew all over the walls of the bunker. Visions of many destruction and things happening soon, especially a fight among a giant monster and a mech. While being freed, nobody believed the future visions that he was drawing on the walls, so he just goes back to shaving up and looking all clean. Then began building his boy Peely, who was brutally murdered and drank up by himself, building him a robotic suit that the trailer for that thing is actually like right out of Iron Man, which is so cool. Now Season X begins, the finale of that chapter, as we see Jonesy being thrown into a weird time dimension by the 0 point, flying through many objects from the history of this game and even some from the future, as Jones then falls onto the world once again, seeing the return of a huge meteor stuck in time, the same one which released the Visitor in the past, but now it releases the Scientist instead, the members of the Seven who are heroes of this game. Then once again, as chapter 12 Fortnite begins, a whole new world. Jones is shown off jumping out of the battle bus onto a whole new world. This world was the recreation of the original Fortnite island after being consumed by the 0 point, meaning that yes, even chapter 1 had a flip side to it which we never saw, but that other side is pretty much chapter 2 itself, as chapter 3 would be the original chapter 1 map, as while the 0 point was recreating these maps. In the middle of that, some locations of chapter 1 were thrown into chapter 2 instead, like Pleasant Park, Retail and Salty Springs. Then also some chapter 2 locations were sent into the original chapter 1 map instead, like Sleepy Sounds, this location and more. Till this moment in the story, Jones has not really played a major part in the game yet. He has mainly been a fun thing just experiencing the game together with us, doing that in the trailers and so on. But ever since chapter 2 season 2, everything changed for this character. That's when Fortnite was finally ready to give him a full character with lots of lore and personality. Within Chapter 2 Season 2, once Midas began his Doomsday Device project, we got a vacant within an office, a place of people who control and use the island. That office gets revealed to be for Jonesy, also Agent John Jones. He even finally gets voice lines within the same place too, voiced by the legend himself, Troy Baker. Jones is here revealed to be the best agent of an organization called the Imagine Order, the people who fully control the Fortnite world, do lots of experiments on it, and the god of Fortnite, the 0 Point, all with the goal of protecting the Omniverse and perfecting it. Jones chose to join this faction so Io protects his family, because the world and the reality where Jones comes from, it's really hard to survive in there, one which should be to save the world itself. Jones also joined this faction because he believed that these people were doing good things for the world, and has said that the Io was trying to protect all of us. So he dedicated his entire life onto working here, becoming their best agent, to the point that when he wanted to go back and live with his family again, Io told him no, and that he has now become too valuable for the Imagine Order, so he can't go. This caused his wife and children, both of them, to die from old age, while Jones just never got to live with them anymore, and never got to see his kid grow up. This played a huge character development part in many actions that Jones makes from now on, and he still kept working for the IO because he thought that they were doing good things, and his life became mostly meaningless to him after the death of the people he loved. But one day, Galactus comes to the island thanks to what happened within Season X, reaching us to consume the 0 Point, as the Marvel heroes managed to stop and send him back to Reality 616, but they're leaving the 0 Point damaged up and exposed to the loopers. So once again, Jones, the most valuable agent of IO, was chosen to fix this up. But now a really important question here. Why is Jones even the most important agent of IO? Getting to even have his own room, which is pretty cool looking, and even his doggo, Bones. It is so cute. Oh my god. Well, that's because Jones is the easiest to manipulate. No one goes through the most dangerous, life-threatening things, trying to do as the IO says. He is the only one who risks his life and goes all out with what he is told to do. That's because the Imagine Order and Geno, the leader of it, these people are master manipulators. They learn your emotions, your personality, and use that to fully control you. While that manipulation worked the best for Jones, telling him that they will fully protect his family if he does a good job at his work, and after that telling him that he is protecting the world with what he does. They knew every single way into forcing this guy to do his best, and that's why there is what's valuable to the IO, to fully have control over the mind of someone as courageous as Jones. So he goes to many different realities, bringing in bounty hunters to protect the 0 Point and make sure that no looper jumps inside of it, cause they either will be torn into pieces or manage to escape the loop. Some of those hunters were even Kratos and Master Chief. That's crazy! But at the end of all of this is when everything changes for Jones. He sees how the 0 Point is about to implode and the IO is just doing absolutely nothing about that. He also learns how they want that to happen, so the 0 Point would rebuild the world again just like within Season X, and fix up all of the holes that could allow other dangerous beings in. But that implosion will cause the death of millions, so it's morally not okay. Jones at this moment learns how corrupted the organization he used to work for is, how they don't really care about the life of all people. So all this time, him thinking that he was working hard for a good cause, it was all the manipulation of IO making him think that he was on the wrong side all this time. This makes Jones go crazy, losing his mind from the extreme pressure, as even when he goes to get the 7 files from the IO to call them for help, he learns how the access to all of the IO files are taken away from him now, making him say these things.
Doesn't even matter. What's the point of recording these logs if you're not gonna listen? We've lost control of the 0 Point. Do you get what that means? You must not, because you're doing nothing. I've dedicated my life to the Order. I've given everything. And for what? To just sit back and watch reality end? That's not who we are. At least it's not who I am. Not anymore.
It's so amazing to see this amount of genuine emotion and chaos within a Fortnite character. Genuinely, none of the other Fortnite characters are just as amazing, filled with personality and character development as Jones is. As even after IO threatens him, tries to manipulate him even more to control Jones. This time, for the first time ever, they failed to do so, cause Jones has absolutely nothing to live for anymore, so he's scared of of nothing. He lost the idea of how he was helping people when working for IO. He now sees himself as, "You're a loser, baby, you're a goddamn loser, baby." What just took over me? Am I okay? What just happened? What? Am I possessed? Jones failed his family for not being there for them anymore. And now he has failed the whole world cause of working for such a corrupted organization. But he doesn't want to feel like he has spent thousands of years working for the IO just for nothing, wasting his life never doing something good. So instead, this man who is older than my birth year. My boy is that old because you become immortal when joining the IO. He chooses to for once make a decision himself, to stop getting orders from the IO, letting them to manipulate him. But instead, he be the one who chooses the best way to be a hero and help people. And even if he fails doing this, he has nothing to lose anymore. The same mindset is what makes Jones fearless, making him go through the chaos of war which he could have easily died within, running right onto the 0 point and calling in the 7, or so their leader Foundation, one who actually has a really similar fate to Jones himself. He's also a former Imagine Order member, a higher up, being given their super powerful soldier, but he then learned how corrupt that place was becoming, so he left to make a new faction for destroying it instead. So it's really ironic to see Jones calling in what pretty much becomes his destiny. The Foundation right away begins just uppercut smacking this guy like BOOM! Because he is worried that all of this is done by the IO to capture him, and he also knows how much Jones has done for the IO. But then he stops beating him up when hearing the name Geno, the same person who started the whole trust issue he has, the leader of IO, one which I believe he was really close to as well. But then he got hurt by Geno badly, causing him to create this faction, and to hate Geno more than anything else. So of course he accepts to help Jones if he leads him into finding Geno. This was only the beginning of a super lovely relationship these two will have in the future, as they together try to save all of us from the 0 Point's implosion. But they failed, causing both of them to make a really hard choice, a choice to sacrifice their own life to save everybody else. The Foundation chooses to lock himself up within the 0 Point itself, so he can hold the god of this game together with only his bare hands. That is badass. That is like something that Loki did in his show, but even before Loki did it. He's so cool! As this could have easily led into his death, but before that can happen, the rift gun of Jones is needed to explode inside of the 0 Point. Destroying the rift gun means that Jones would be trapped within the loop and found by the IO again. But both of these people, the experiences they went through by being past members of the IO, so they both chose to do what's right and sacrifice their life for us, saving everybody with this act. That right there is what makes these two the most perfect duo ever, especially how they help each other be better to develop one another's character. The Foundation makes Jones be more courageous and ready to do everything for the cause, and be stronger and better at fights overall. And Jones makes the Foundation be less extremely serious and have less massive trust issues, helping the guy be more friendly and be a better leader overall. Fortnite storyline has just never done something as amazing as bringing these two characters together. So I really hope that we see these two together again, because Fortnite without Jones and Foundation doing things together, it just doesn't hit the same, man. I miss them. I miss them so much. Now, soon after this happens, aliens are called into the world thanks to the manipulation of the Spire material, causing Jones to get abducted by them when he was hiding from the IO. As once they explode the Spire trying to steal the 0 Point, they see nothing within there. That's because Batman brought the 0 Point down from the Spire back into the IO's hands, so he could return into the Gotham City. Drifting into there caused the Foundation who was within the 0 Point to also get thrown into Gotham waters. So Batman kinda saved Foundation here. He then helps out Batman with the big issue of the rift that IO opened within that world, while through that finally getting to return back onto the island to finish his mission, choosing to keep his promise now and search to find and save Jones, my boy who when the mothership exploded, it allowed the IO to find him there and take him into the devices made for fully wiping out your memories. The IO was basically planning to completely just wipe out all of the memories of Jones so they can turn him into their agent intelligent again and just keep manipulating and abusing this guy for eternity. Or Jones, I feel bad for them, but like Sloan is enjoying this so much. I'm not gonna lie, I will let her do that to me. Wait, what? Foundation right at that moment finds Jones smacking some ass as he keeps his promise to save Jones. These two are so gay for each other, they need to marry. Jones and Foundation now plan to save all of us from the invasion of the last reality by causing the entire land to flip back onto the original chapter 1 land, as that would break the pyramid of Cube Queen and the energy beam she has made. As we get to see, wow, ever since chapter 1 the Seven fully took over this place, which explains fully why Diayo had to do all of their work and everything on the chapter 2 side instead from now on. But now that the Seven have flipped the island again, they gotta use their drills to come on this side again, and even use them to carve their new bases within the mountains, preparing to fight and finally get rid of the Seven in a great Ayo vs 7 war coming up, as Jones helps the Seven greatly within this war, making the Seven start feeling like a family as well. Then together with the Imagine and Spider-Man, they go to Marvel 616 world, so he not only sends Marvel heroes to support the Seven in this war, but also to find the broken piece of the 0 point needed to overcharge this giant mech the Seven are planning to use in it. Jones goes through a lot trying to find this thing, getting to even make new friends during this time, some of those being Spider-Man, the Imagined and Wolverine, but most importantly Shuri, one who was actually interested into the crazy knowledge of Jones and how much he yaps, or the insane amount of languages this guy can talk. How? Look at your tiny brain. How? These two get so close to each other and start to like each other so much to the point that Shuri even smooches him. So they all manage to together take down Diayo for good, as we get to see how much Jones and Foundation develop one another's characters here, while Jones makes him a kinder and a more wholesome leader. Forget Shuri, we don't need that ship. Shoot, these two, they gotta kiss, they gotta marry. Oh my god. So going from having nothing to live for anymore, Jones yet again has a family, which is the Seven, and once again he has found a love interest being Shuri. But sadly for this guy, he can never just ever get a break from bad events. Shuri has to leave him after this war to manage Wakanda, but she really hopes that they get to see each other again in the future, as then something horrible happens. Right when he's finally happy again, the Chrome comes in, the greatest weapon of the last reality, as it consumes all of the members of the Seven in no time, taking them to the prisons of theirs to corrupt and turn them evil. So yet again, in no time, Jones has lost his new family too, making his mind get lost again and not sure what to do, as he is now left all alone on a chunk of land slowly moving towards the chapter 4 map, taking him 4 whole seasons to reach there slowly. But once there, meeting a really old friend yet again named Dr. Sloan. She survived being crushed thanks to the technology of the mysterious jungle and relic, and this is the same friend who betrayed Jones and even tried to kill him, but not so willingly. She was extremely manipulated and controlled by Geno and Diayo, exactly why she also has now quit the faction. If you want to learn how exactly she was being manipulated and want me to make a video on her just like this one you're watching right now, just tell me in the comments and Professor Lord, the leader of the 5 realities, will begin cooking for you. And also if you want to support the channel, cause YouTube is being extremely annoying and giving the channel just absolutely no love. I hate them. You can become a member of this channel, getting some special features through that too. Your support just means the world to me and kinda allows me to keep making these videos, because honestly YouTube, they're not giving this channel the love it needs, like at all. Now let's go back to Jones. My boy was supposed to become a legend, be the new member of the Seven, replacing the visitor who was planning to retire, as then getting his own Seven suit and his Seven name being the Legend. But that all got taken away from him once the Chrome stole his new family. So once more he has nothing to live for again. But even then he still chooses to help Dr. Stone and save all of us for the 10th time from our doom, becoming now even a time traveler going to the past to save all of us. He has now done more crazy things than any other character in the history of this game. But why is he still fighting? That's because of the spark of hope within him. Jones has hope for a better future. He has hope that if he keeps doing the right thing, just like how he managed to find a new family, he can hopefully get to save the 7 in the future. The hope in his heart for the future is what gives him the drive needed to do as much as he does, and to never give up. Never back down, number 1! Which makes it really funny that the friend he will find soon in chapter 5's world, that friend is also named Hope. But before that happens, there is a faction in this new world named the Society, one extremely similar to the Imagine Order, and one who chooses to steal the only friend of Jones left from his past. He has no clue where Dr. Stone is now, but Peely is still with him. Even then, the Society steals his only friend too for using him to manipulate Jones, and that causes my boy to absolutely lose it. You mess with my boy's banana, it's the same outcome as messing with John Wick's dog, and they both got John as their name. Never, ever again touch this guy's banana, unless you're the Foundation or Shuri. Jones here chooses to never let anyone hurt his friends ever again, cause of how many of them he has lost, as he grabs bunch of weapons, with a cool new suit and even growing beard, to show off how much he has grown since the first time we met him and how much he has matured up, then going after every member of the Society, killing many of them to find and save his Peely. Hope, the sister of Valeria, who saw this faction corrupted, so quit to build a new faction focused on destroying it. Yes, the exact same fate as the Foundation went through. She saw how strongly Jones is going against the Society, and because of that chose to get his help for building her new faction, while in return of that she would help Jones to get his friend back. Jones accepts this as yet again a new duo has been created extremely similar to Jones and Foundation duo, while this time Jones is the strong and knowledgeable person in the duo, and the one who guides the other, while before in the past Foundation was the guide making Jones stronger. He has just come so far from where he started. They together take down the Society as Jones saves his banana, showing off how he means it when he says that from now on no one gets to hurt his friends. But one more friend he also has to save now is the new friend he has made. A magical box is revealed onto this world, one which releases Greek gods who Jones and Hope also have to fight together. But once they're done with that, a box which also begins speaking with Hope directly. This box promises her of peace, of everything she has ever been chasing, a better future, but also promising her of powers which are rightfully hers, ones which Hope has to open the box to gain. Jones right away stops her. He promised to protect his friends, so he will do anything to make sure that nothing bad happens to Hope. That's when he stops Hope from opening Pandora's box, telling her of the 0 point and what it did to the people who chose to chase its powers, and how the same thing would happen to Hope if she gets obsessed with these powers that are within the box and are rightfully hers. Hope was foretold by the future to open the box and gain these powers, but Jones stopping her and the Wanderer coming to steal it instead is said to completely change our future, breaking the prophecies of the future, rewriting the stars and changing the fate of all of us. But was Jones wrong to change the future and stop Hope from reaching her destiny and powers? No, not at all. The Wanderer, also Dr. Doom, took the powers instead, and while he was using them to kill many of the Marvel characters, he talks about how it nearly corrupted him, even breaking his mask, how this power is wild, chaotic and uncontrolled, how he's trying to take over Dr. Doom, make him more hungry for more destruction and more power. The exact same thing that Jones said would happen to Hope if she took that energy, so he was right after all. But the thing is that Dr. Doom is one of the smartest people ever. He knows how to control such chaotic powers. He's building a suit out of Pandora's box itself right now to not let the magic corrupt him. That being exactly why the box wanted Hope to gain his powers and not Doom. Box knew that Doom is way too smart for such magic to take over him. Now the thing is, Dr. Doom has become completely unkillable and unstoppable with this magic. He will get to build his new Imagine Order and reach all of his goals with it. The only way to defeat him would be taking these golden powers out of him. Then if Hope was destined to gain these powers, what if she does choose to take it out of Doom for herself, since it's the only way to win, causing her to begin getting corrupted, so having to lock herself up and that magic inside of the box again. So John Jones failing to do what he said, failing to protect Hope, his new friend, from the coming future. It's gonna be really interesting to see if Jones manages to keep his promise or not. Will he save Hope or lose her too? What if he takes the powers of Hope instead and lock himself up with those powers inside of Pandora, doing that to try to save Hope from her own fate? That would genuinely make me depressed and maybe even cry. Ah, my boy! But till that moment comes, Marvel heroes are brought to help us fight against Doom, as Captain America even chose Jones worthy to become the captain of this war instead, leading both the Hope side and the Marvel side of the heroes, even given a shield as a gift to help him out. Jones was chosen as the captain because the crazy history he has gone through. It makes him be more worthy for this than anyone else, as the experience he has with the Marvel side too makes him even more perfect for this role. This has to be the final big evolution of Jones before the actual final crazy one comes out. The crazy one I'm talking about, of course, is the 7 suit becoming a member of the 7 named the Legend, and hopefully we're gonna see that happen around the ending of chapter 6. Let's go back to talking about the Marvel heroes coming to the island. Shuri, the new love of Jones, is also here, and so they actually did get to meet each other after just so long. This is by far just like my favorite moment of chapter 5, getting to see Jones and Shuri together after this interaction. Oh my god, peak! Ever since losing the 7, his new family, Jones finally gets to be happy again being with the old people he loves, and hopefully he's gonna get to make new lovely memories with Shuri here in this season. Things are just getting way better for Jones once more, but we all know how every time he starts to feel happy again, right at that moment just something horrible happens to him. So expect the ending of this chapter to be really painful for Jones yet again. That, as I said, either being he loses Hope to the box, or he chooses to sacrifice himself in order to save her, if that's even possible to do. There is no way you can say that Jones is not one of the best storyline characters ever after hearing all of that. But if you do agree with me, make sure to subscribe if you want me to make more videos like this one on Dr. Stone, the Foundation, or maybe Geno and so on, as I actually already do have another video similar to this one on another character, one about the entire origin story of Doctor Doom, his full story from the Marvel comics, then his full story in Fortnite 2 at chapter 2 season 4 or the Marvel Zero War comics, or even this very season Absolute Doom, or why Doctor Doom is making a whole new Imagine Order for himself, how he's planning right now to fight the devil of hell itself, Mephisto, and just all of the plans he has coming up in the story really soon. Just do exactly what I tell you, click on this video right here. This is one of the best storyline videos of all time. It's so good, you're gonna love it, trust me. The entire storyline of Doctor Doom, oh my god.